Yo, what's good, everyone? Welcome back to another Jets episode on the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. It is week 9. It is Monday Night Football week versus the Chargers at JetLife Stadium. Jets are 4-3 off a 3-game winning streak. Who would have thought Zach Wilson is the quarterback during this entire time? Our special teams has been unbelievable. Shout out to Special Teams Player of the Week, Mr. Morstead, who, Greg, I was right there on the sideline last week watching him meticulously go up and down. The guy spends maybe 20 minutes of every game practicing just dropping the football, making sure it just drops dead straight down. I mean, the guy's very meticulous. We couldn't have won without our kickers. I rewatched the game on television. Man, what a different game. I mean, first of all, the weather does not do it justice. It did not. It looked like it was fine outside. It was pouring rain that entire game. It was freezing. It was so windy. And wow, that last kick by Greg the Leg that won it for us looked way more off on television than it did when I was there. But I guess I was just trained to just stare at the refs because I can't see anyway. I just stare at the refs on field goals. Just tell me, man. I just trust you. Whatever you say. But yo, a lot of luck involved on the last drive, man. With that Kayvon offside, I did not realize that Kayvon offside was that timeout that we needed in order to get off another play. Woo! I mean, what a crazy. I know we're on to Monday night, week 9 versus the Chargers, but man, just rewatching it, what a crazy game. Will McDonald jumping over the line, Jermaine Johnson holding down the center. I wonder if that's a play that's going to get banned soon, where our defensive end is not allowed to hold the center down while our other guy hurdles him. Yeah. I mean, just a wild day for the Jets. I'm glad we got the win, 4-3 going into the Chargers. Any last thoughts on that Giants game before we kind of move on here?
No, I mean, it was an ugly game. It was, like I said, the definition of a can't lose game. I'm happy that we ended up winning it because if we didn't, I feel like this conversation going into the Chargers game is a whole lot different.
Must win. It would be a must win.
Yeah, what's been good for us, John, going to this game is that these teams that we're playing don't have great records, haven't looked that great this season, but they win right before they play us. So the Giants did it 2 weeks ago, got a win, kind of took the edge off a little bit going into the matchup with us. The Chargers, I think, were 2-5. I don't know what the record is right now. I'm blanking. I gotta look it up real quick. But they got a win last week, a nice win last week. So hopefully it takes the edge off a little bit for them this week going up. They were 2-4. Now they're 3-4. And I'm glad for us going, and I'm happy about it.
And I'm glad you are bringing up the record because we're 4-3. They're 3-4.
Yeah.
And we're both fighting for one spot. And you know who's included in that? The Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, a team that was supposed to, be contenders in the AFC. We are clawing for one spot right now, which is held by the 3 wildcard spots right now are held by Bills, Steelers, Browns, with the Ravens winning that division, right? So, and the Dolphins winning the AFC East. So we're in a claw, and this game is going to matter, man. This game is going to matter for tiebreakers. So as much as it's not a must win for the Jets because we ended up sneaking out that win in the most cardiac Jets fashion I have ever witnessed with my own 2 eyes.
Insane.
It's not a franchise backbreaking must win, but in terms of success for this season, Greg, it is kind of a must win. I mean, we're staring at, first of all, it's Monday night prime time, so it just does mean something. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to be watching us, so it kind of does, it pushes the narrative. I mean, all of Monday and all of Tuesday, every single NFL content around is going to talk about the Jets, and it matters. Regardless of what any of us say, it matters. It matters for the team. It matters for the press conference. It matters for the newspapers. So, and the Chargers are rising up right now, man. They're rising up in the rankings. They played good. This is a big game, and I kind of just want to get right into it because they have, on paper, exactly all the weapons that would kill the Jets.
Yep.
Right? They got the tight end in Everett. They got the running back in Eckler. The good thing is they really rely on the passing game. And I'm sorry to say, Greg, that's the one thing we can contain here, right? On the off, I actually really trust it. I trust our linebackers and I trust our cornerbacks to withstand Keenan Allen and Jordan Palmer. I honestly do. And Quentin Johnson, the rookie. Like who I've told you from day one, Greg. From day one, I told you he was exactly like the kid that Carolina drafted, Kelvin Benjamin.
Yep.
I told you he's exactly like him, and he turned out exactly. I'm telling you, he's exact comp. He's good in spurts, but he's Kelvin Benjamin, so I'm not really worried about him unless he plays tight end soon. On the opposite side, Greg, they have Khalil Mack, who plays the Micah Parsons position, and maybe that's disrespectful because he was first. But remember what happened when we didn't, when we played the Cowboys, we didn't take into consideration Micah Parsons. Like, okay, are we going to take into consideration Khalil Mack and
So
Joe?
all-time comment by our offensive coordinator. Like, oh yeah, it didn't count for him.
And Mr. Joey Bosa. Like, not only do we have to account for them, Greg, but we don't have a center and we don't have a right guard. If we do have a right guard, it's going to be maybe Saffold, who was sitting on the couch last week, or maybe it's going to be Billy Turner, who is a veteran right tackle, filled in at right guard and was telling the center when to snap. If you go back, tapping the center's ass every single time. Or is it because we don't have a center? Like, is our center really just going to be this practice squad dude? Like, are we just going to keep rolling him out? Is that what we're really going to do here? I have no idea what the Jets are going to do against, honestly, what the Chargers, like, Derwin James, I'm nervous about Zach Wilson throwing to him. I'm worried about Khalil Mack, and I'm worried about Joey Bosa. Kind of all three phases of their defense. Like, what are your thoughts here, man?
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, dude. Like, we got to figure something out. And it's crazy because we got to figure something out at the center position of our offensive line, which is the most critical. I mean, left tackle and the center, I feel like, are the most 1A, 1B for critical positions. I mean, we saw it last week with was it Xavier Newsome came in and did a emergency center because we were on our fourth string center.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is he going to
first
start?
play, just fumble the ball. So
but I'm saying, is he going to start?
I don't know. I think he might. And we're all waiting to see what happens with Joe Tippmann if he's available to go. If not, hopefully he's back next week. I mean, he would be the logical person to start center for us. But yeah, I mean, dude, I think he played pretty good. Like, Nick Mangold was on like the Barstool Pick'em show on Monday talking about it, and he's like, yeah, like that first snap is just nerves. He's like, you don't understand
First of all, the weather,
nerves,
and the weather, dude.
Yeah, and the weather too. But he's like, that's part of it. The weather's part of it. The situation is part of it. Like, you're coming into the game, your team's relying on you. You're down your fourth center. You're going into an NFL game for the first time, and he's like, there's just so much. And he's like, what told him that he's probably going to be good to go for a little bit is that he was just able to bounce back. He's like, some of these centers, some of these players, when they come in here and they mess up that bad, that fast, he's like, they just can't get it back and go. And you can't get the train back on the track. So he was able to do that. He was able to get it calmed down. So, yeah, I think that's the case. I mean, there was talk about Dwayne Brown is off the IR, and he's in his 21-day window now. So, I mean, if he comes back and plays left tackle, then Mekhi Becton can move to right tackle. That frees up Max Mitchell to go to right guard. And then maybe that frees up someone to play center. You said Billy Turner is a backup, right tackle, right guard if we need him. Yeah, I'm okay with Xavier Newsome to start at center. And then the guy that we signed off the couch, have him back him up for a game or two until we get Joe Tippmann back. And Joe Tippmann's going to have to come back. He's going to have to play hurt, and he's going to have, it sucks because he's a rookie, but he's going to have to deal with it and play through it because, I mean, Connor McGovern dislocating his knee, like, you can't play through that. Like, some of these injuries for these offensive linemen, you just can't do anything about. So if you're banged up and your thigh hurts or quad hurts, like, okay, dude, like we got to get you right for a game day because we need you out there.
Yeah, well, it looks like Wes is out for the season as well as Al Woods, the
Yeah.
nose tackle. But it looks like even with the dislocated knee, he's still getting second opinions, whatever that means. I mean,
Ugh.
that's the injury that ended Baron Davis's career.
Yeah, dislocated knee is one of those things. Like I can't think of many injuries I'd rather have than a dislocated knee. Like that's like tear my ACL 10 times over before you dislocate my knee.
Or apparently tore Achilles because that's like a sprained ankle these days.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it depends who you ask.
so we'll see. Man, we need Tippmann back. We
Yeah,
really, really need Tippmann back, and that's crazy. And to be honest with you, it does make for a ceiling for this team. Honestly, with this offensive line, that's the ceiling. We're gonna go as far as this offensive line takes us.
yeah.
And I again watching Zach Wilson last week, dude.
I just
He made some great throws, dude. Like Brees, think about the people that made that. Yeah, think about the offensive line that we just talked about in this weather that I couldn't even sit in. I had a hard time sitting in. And he had drops by Alan Lazard. Big time drops, Alan
big
Lazard.
time drops.
Big time drops, Garrett Wilson. Big time drops, Brees Hall. Not to say he didn't, throw behind Garrett Wilson on a ball. Not to say he didn't throw that under on Brees Hall. Not to say, he didn't get a gift tight end pass interference. Not tight end, Malik Taylor pass interference on that last play, right? Like all gifts. Honestly, we got to give Zach Wilson props, man, for what he has.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. If that's Joe Flacco, dude, we're getting -9 yards last week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If that's a lot of backup quarterbacks in this league, and that's what he is, a backup quarterback. The guy screaming at me, honestly, is a moron. I'm sorry that he's like a middle-aged man. I have to tell how it is, like a Jets fan too, but the guy wants to cut Zach Wilson. I would take $11 million dead cap every year with cutting a rookie contract for no reason. He thinks that's a great idea. He wants to fire the coach, midway through the fourth quarter because Aaron Rodgers got hurt. I mean, the guy played fantastic when you really look at it, dude. He did great. And the defense and the special teams, of course, makes everything easier, right? Of course. Yeah. But dude, Zach Wilson, honestly, I trust him versus the Chargers. He threw away the ball pretty nicely in my eyes. I think he's going to do that against Mac and Derwin James. Hopefully he doesn't test them. I trust him versus the Raiders, right? The next two games, both prime times. I do trust him. And I do think he's scared of prime time and the fact that he doesn't want to mess up in front of the world because he knows everything's going to get exaggerated. He knows that if he messes up, it's over. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think Zach Wilson likes prime time. I think Zach Wilson's afraid of the rain, which we have to figure that
too.
out.
I'm afraid that, dude,
raining.
It wasn't
when
regular
it starts
rain.
Raining, our offense is gone.
Greg, it wasn't regular rain. I don't know how to explain it with that stadium. It is wind is everywhere. Like I'm telling you, go rewatch the kicks. Every kick going towards my way, not even close.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the flags weren't flying weird, but I'm telling you, the rain and it was so funny. Every time we got the ball, it started pouring. Like it was I don't know, man. It was just the TV did not show how bad the weather was.
No, I think Zach Wilson's okay in primetime, dude. Like he had the Kansas City game earlier in the season, like played one of his best games he's ever played. Like I think the primetime, I mean, maybe this is a clippable moment for this weekend. I think the primetime's okay. I think really it's about the weather, and I'm not sure what the weather's going to be on Monday night.
It's cloudy. It's cold. I might be there. I can't do another. I think I'm done. I retire from wet games this year. I think I retire from the wet games. I did my time. I did my bid. Right. No one.
You did this. It's enough.
No one can accuse me of not wanting to go to a game because of the weather. Like I stuck it out for 2 games. I'm 1-1. Thank God. I was the closest you could possibly be to 0-2, contemplating life sitting in the rain and the cold for 2 games and paying top dollar. Like it was really gonna hurt. But yeah. we redeemed ourselves. What do you see out of how this game is going to go, right? We know what we're worried about. We're all worried about Zach and turning the ball over. We're all worried about, you should be worried about their tight end. We should worry about their pass rush. We should worry about their running back out of the backfield. But how do you think the game's going to actually go?
Dude, I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be
Really?
low scoring. I think we're going to be able to move the ball better than
Did
we
last week?
have in the past few weeks. I don't think the Chargers defense, I'm trying to look it up right now on like their team rankings and stuff, but from earlier in their seasons, earlier in the season, I feel like the Chargers defense wasn't too impressive. And they've played some, I guess, some easier opponents. They won against the Bears last week. They played the Raiders. So, but dude, they let up 31 to the Chiefs. They let up 20 something to the Cowboys. Like, I think there's an opportunity for us to score some points on this Chargers defense. Our offense has to get it in gear, man. Like, I think the keys to the game on this obviously is going to be to contain Eckler and
linebackers. Quincy Williams is number 1 linebacker in the league right now. I mean, it's what it is right now, Greg.
Still, we're letting up rushing yards. Like last week, I think the Giants had 200 rushing yards. Like,
I mean, you got to give up something. If it's -9 passing yards, you got to give up something.
Yeah, no, it's true. And it's off 40 or 50 attempts. Like, it was an insane amount of rushes. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, definitely. But, dude, it's going to be third down conversions for our offense. Like, we have to set ourselves up in third and manageable, and then we have to convert. Like, if it's 3rd and 2, we have to run the ball, and it can't be a cute run with motion and all this shit. We have to run the ball straight up the middle. How you neutralize a pass rush, I've said all the time, is running at the people. So run at Joey Bosa, get past him, try to get him blocked the best we can, minimize the pressure on Zach Wilson, and convert on third down. Like last week was abysmal on third down, and some of those third down options were like it was 3rd and 3. Like, we have to convert a 3rd and 3. Like, you can't just come up short on those plays.
Yeah, and I think MetLife's going to be bumping. We've been pretty good at home at night. We've been really good in prime time. First of all, against the best teams in the league. I don't think the Jets are overlooking the Chargers of San Diego in any means. And this is the first game, Greg. First Jets home game this year, and especially first primetime game this year, where there's going to be no away fans. We've been getting bombarded with Kansas City. It was red in there. There was a lot of Philly fans. Like, they're here, bro. Like, honest to God, they're around. Even Patriots fans. I was screaming at Patriots fans the whole game. Giants fans, of course. It was a Giants home game. You know what I mean? This is going to finally be a full Jet stadium. Maybe that's why they're trying to sell tickets right now. Not everyone's trying to, go. I see them advertising for tickets. Probably not sold out at the moment. It is the biggest stadium in the league. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this game. I don't think it's going to be as sloppy as you say. Again, Jets have to win the turnover battle. It's the only way we win football games.
Defense,
so we're going to have to that in special teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Morstead's going to keep it the same. I think Greg the Leg is going to hit his kicks. I'm not sure about the wind yet. But I think they're both going to be okay. The only thing is, man, we have to get Herbert turnovers, which he is prone to he is prone to turn the ball over.
For sure.
I'm just worried about the sacks. To be honest with you, I'm worried about the fumble sacks. Like, I'm worried because that's our biggest issue, dude. Is we're not going to have time. Like, he's going to get sacked. Zach is going to get sacked. So I'm going to go with.
Yeah, it's tough because I was just looking up real quick. So defensive wise, they've let up the third most passing yards in the league. I mean, it's Jaguars with the most, then the Bears, Chargers, Commanders, Browns, or Commanders, Broncos. Like, that's not a great list to be on as far as defensive goes. Like, I think Zach Wilson's going to have some opportunities to throw the ball. To your point, it's just about not holding it too long to make them feel pressure for no reason. Like, get to your spot, hit your guy, throw the ball. Like, don't hold the ball too long because, to your point, like, Joey Bosa and this pass rush will get home if you give them the opportunity. But it seems like teams have been able to throw the ball against them. So rushing wise, though, they're like one of the better teams as far as their top 5 rushing defense in the league. So we saw last week and catch the ball out of the backfield. Like, if that's how it's going to have to go, it's how it's going to have to go.
Yo, if you rewatch those, he had some nice angles on those throws, man.
Yeah.
Getting them in between, dude. Dexter Lawrence broke the record for amount of pressures on him. Think about that.
Yeah.
Think about winning a game where the other opponent is breaking records for amount of time they're pressuring you. It's crazy.
Dude, Zach Wilson has two, I think. It's crazy to say it. And it's like, I'm a Zach Wilson believer. I've been buying up rookie cards every chance I can get for him. Like, I believe in Zach Wilson. I have throughout this whole process. The win against Buffalo on week 1 is an incredible win. It's a comeback win. But for your starting quarterback for that stadium to be that deflated, to come back and keep us hanging around and win that game. And then last week, for as bad as it was going, you're on your 4th center, a guy that was on the practice squad the week before, and to rally the troops and get the guys going and to win that game again. I think both of those are very impressive wins for a young quarterback to add to his resume. As disgusting as the game was, it's the situation, to your point, all the pressure all game long because he's on his 4th-string center, his 4th-string right guard, his 3rd-string right tackle, like he's his 2nd-string left tackle, like he's having a tough time. Like Thomas is the only guy that started the season at his position, and he's making it work.
And look around the league, Greg. Look around the league. Daniel Jones got paid. I mean, he was hurt. He's going to come back this week. Hopefully, he has a good week. Derek Carr, the guy that we were going to sign, right? He's not looking too great. Jimmy Garoppolo, another guy we were going to sign, benched. Like, what do you want them to do? Aaron Rodgers, we did sign him, injured. Like, what do you want us to do? Like,
we just talked about it on Winning Picks Weekly. Go check that out for all the NFL gambling. There's like 5 new quarterbacks that are starting for the first time this week. Like the real problem is, John, and I'm not sure if I knew how to fix it, I would. Zach Wilson's a middle of the road quarterback in the NFL right now. And we're like the 29th or 28th ranked offense in most statistical categories. If we get anywhere outside of 20s, like if we're the 18th best passing offense or the 17th best rushing offense, like we're playoff bound. Like we can figure it out.
Oh,
but we just can't be 29th. Like we can't be the worst. We can't be 30th.
Greg,
third down conversion.
We let up 1 touchdown last week again. The entire game. It came off again. The points last week were a fumble sack that turned into 3 points off of no yards, and then 2. Okay. I'm glad this is the time. This is the time to talk about it, Greg. I rewatched the drive where Tommy DeVito got the touchdown. I'm willing to concede the Jermaine Johnson late hit. I'm willing to concede it. I don't think it was late. I'm willing to concede that it could be determined as 50-50. Therefore, give it to the quarterback. Okay? Especially because he's a rookie. Even though the Jets haven't gotten a roughing the passer call since 2021. No problem.
Yep.
On the other side, how can you call a targeting helmet to helmet when the guy hits him with his shoulder? How is that not reviewable, dude? I thought I was going crazy in the stadium. I thought I'm just screaming from far, just being a fan. Dude, he didn't hit him with his helmet. We gave him 7 points. That was crazy, right? The Clemens punt, insane. Yes, that was his fault. Jermaine Johnson, you can't do it. John Franklin Myers, also dumb penalty. Your boy, once again. But we should have been off the field on that 7 points, and that's how you beat. That's how we got to score, man. We are stopping teams. We are stopping teams all game. We are stopping teams in the second half. Besides stupid penalties, we got to stop the penalties, and we just got to convert on third downs. That's the key. But and the mistakes, I'm telling you, are so small, Greg. We have the biggest issue is the offensive line, and the issues are so small. Like a Garrett Wilson right behind him, right? Or they weren't communicating on one pass, right? Where there was like he threw a hitch, right? Zach threw a nice hitch at the sticks, but whoever it was it Allen or was it Garrett Wilson that had a go route? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was Lazard. He had a go route. Like Lazard, you got to catch that ball. You got in the middle of the field. You know what I mean? He had 2 drops yesterday, right? Lazard last week that were tough. Breece Hall, you got to make that catch. Garrett Wilson, you had a bad drop, dude. Like, think about that. For Zach Wilson, like,
if half of those get converted, if half of those get caught, it's a whole different game.
Like, I suck. I get it. I suck. You guys are the best. I put the ball in your hands, the second time around, you flip those 50-50.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. That I really like this Jets team. I really like this week. I think we're gonna beat the Chargers. I don't think they're disciplined. I think everyone makes fun of Robert Saleh, and then we see Coach Dable, the guy who won Coach of the Year. Everyone makes fun of Zach Wilson, and then we see. Listen, man. Honest to God, I would take him over 5 quarterbacks this week. 5. That's crazy. Like Tyson Badgett is playing. We got Carlton Tune is starting. We got Ripon is going this week. Like
It's crazy to say, but like
Aiden
now that you're
O'Connell.
saying it, like yeah,
Aiden O'Connell. I don't want Aiden O'Connell.
right? You would take Tua, you would take Mahomes. Would you take Deshaun Watson?
I don't know.
I haven't been able to see him throw the ball since 2021. I don't know. I don't know what I got with Deshaun Watson.
All right. Who else?
Sam Howell, Washington.
Oh my God. I don't know. Okay.
Derek Carr.
No.
Geno and Lamar.
Lamar, yes, obviously.
Yep.
So that's 3 quarterbacks. That's a definitely yes. Geno,
That's 3. Geno, I would take him, but I know you don't. Baker, CJ Stroud.
CJ. Okay, I'll take CJ for sure.
Okay.
That's 4. That's 4 quarterbacks taken easy over Zach.
Daniel Jones.
Oh.
Dak Prescott. Hurts. Josh Allen.
Yes, 6.
That's
so he's top 10.
Joe Burrow.
7.
Herbert against us.
8.
Yeah.
He's top 15. 10. He's top 15.
He's top 10. No, I think he's top 10 for sure. Like I think like you said, like 7
Geno.
definite.
You throw Geno and Dak in there so no one gets upset.
Yeah.
That's 10, right? Well, right there. 15.
Yeah.
Top 15, no arguments.
That's what I'm saying. Like this offense just needs to get out of, like I said that. I said Zach Wilson is a middle of the NFL quarterback right now. No hyperbole, no like rose-colored glasses as a Jets fan. Like just a fact that there's 10 teams that are starting rookie quarterbacks. So Zach Wilson's just ahead of them. And then on top of that, our defense is ranked like 29th, 28th, 30th in a lot of statistical categories. Like we just have to move from that. I'll take even going from 28th to 21st. Like if you just move from the bottom of the 20s to the high 20s, like that's enough of a move where this Jets team can stay moving in the right direction throughout the rest of this regular season. Like we just need to not be the worst. Going whatever we were last week, 2 out of 14 on third down, 3 out of 15 on third down. It just can't happen.
I mean, we have the worst offensive line in the league, Greg. The worst offensive line in the league. So this is going to be a coaching game. We're going to have to outcoach them. It really is a Hackett and Downing game. We're going to have to figure out how to get the ball out quick, how to figure out how to maneuver around the big boys and Bosa and Mack. And we're just going to have to do our thing on defense.
Yep.
Not change a thing. Not change a thing on special teams. Punt is good. Everyone laughs at me. Punt is good. Give me a punt.
Football, baby. That's how we play.
Give me a punt. Give me a 3 and out, and give me good field position. That's all I want. And give me
preview.
And give me Greg to like kick. Like I give me that all day.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to preview to the Jets game on Sundays, you can watch Iowa on Saturdays. It's the same thing.
No. Zach is better than Petros.
That's true, but they're pretty close to equivalent at a college NFL level.
All right, give me a final score so we can get out of here.
24-20, Jets win.
Ooh, covering.
Big time, winning outright. It's 3-point underdog. Take the alternate line.
Would 20 points be the most a team has scored on us this year?
No. The Dallas game, they scored a good amount of points.
Oh, no, it doesn't count. That game. That was different. That
was literally a bury the tape game.
Yeah.
Buried it so much you forgot about it.
That was a different year.
Yeah, Broncos scored 21. Eagles, no.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Broncos the high watermark. Chiefs scored 23.
All right, give me 16 Chargers. 22 Jets. 22-16.
I like that.
Jets beat the Chargers Monday Night Football. Everybody calls it an ugly game. Don't care. Don't apologize for wins. Give me 4 W's in New York Jets. Give me 5-3. And then let me stare at Antonio Pierce, head coach Antonio Pierce on Sunday night with Aiden O'Connell. Please give me that. Please. Please. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm salivating. I can't imagine what the defensive players are doing.
Yeah.
But I can't wait, Greg, to figure out whether I should do the hammer or the uppercut. I can't wait. I can't wait to figure out which celebration to do this week.
Need a lot of hammers. We need to get after the quarterback.
He's got to take down Rashawn Slater. That's our only problem out. That big boy from Northwestern, now offensive lineman. Let's just get by him. Let's go, baby. JETS. I'll be at the stadium. I have to. I'll see you there. Let's go. JETS. Jets. Hit us up on YouTube. Next comment, Jets comment ETC. Period. Twitter. You know what it is. Instagram. X. Peace out. JETS.